Hello, I'm so happy to have all of you here today. It is the first day of fall, and this is a really important time for us to create courage. The environment outside when we transition into fall actually energetically creates two really important things: courage and also, what word do I want to use for it? Reverence. Courage and reverence are the two major components coming forward into fall. So we'll start with our mudra. We're going to take the tip of the thumb, tip of the index, tip of the middle, and tip of the ring finger. So thumb and the first three fingers are all touching, and then the pinky spreads away. And so then we'll use this mudra. This is a mudra for courage. So we'll call on that courage as we gently center. So we allow the shoulders to soften, the jaw lets go. And we come into our space and our energy connects so fully and deeply. And we start with our self-talk. Self, I allow my legs to soften and my hips to let go. Self, I send my sits bones down, 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 all the way into Mama Earth. Self, as I send my sits bones down, literally energetically connecting with the earth, I know it's real and true. Because self, I notice sensations, a perineum, first chakra. And self, as I send my sits bones down, the energy from Mama Earth rises up, 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 the life force creating a tingling in top of head. And the heavens open wide and send love right into us. Just pausing for a few moments here, enjoy. Feeling the spinal column fill with life force and love. Our mudra creating courage. Good, so we're going to start by extending the legs. It's taking the hands on top of the legs and slowly and gently, just rubbing them. Good. And we're going to start off, as we often do. Wide-kneed child's is a stimulating posture for so many of our chakras and for so many energy centers. So we often will begin with this posture. So we'll be seated literally on our heels. Our big toes touch, our thighs are gently apart. Just allowing the hips to sink onto the heels and allowing the arms to release forward and the forehead melts onto the earth. Just pausing, enjoying this posture. walking the hands back towards the torso. Pause for that whoosh up the spine. And then coming forward onto the hands and knees, and just allow one leg to lengthen back, pressing through the heel. Take all the time in the world. When you're ready, allow the other leg to lengthen back, pressing through the heel. Beautiful, and you can do that again just another time or two, just waking up the legs. Beautiful. And then let's come to a seated position. And let's cross the left leg over the right. We're going to do our shoelace. So we've got the right knee on the bottom, forward. We stack the knees on top of one another. As always, if it puts too much pressure on the hip, you can extend the bottom leg, which is your right leg. If that feels good, you can do that. And then all we're going to do is bring the arms out. And we're going to take this, the same legs, arms. So that left arm is going to go under, yes, under the right arm. Holding on to the shoulders gently, and then just soften the arms. So it's like a gentle hug for yourself. If it feels good and it's easeful for you to come forward, feel free to do that. Chin can come towards chest. You can also stay upright. Good. So as we continue with this beautiful class for courage, this shape is stimulating so many meridians that will help awaken that in us. One of those meridians is lung. And when we come out, in a little while, not yet, we'll feel how the back of the lungs has opened in this beautiful shape. So we just breathe here a little bit longer. There's a gentle opening in the hips. Everybody looks great. Just enjoying wherever you are for 6 more long, full, deep, absolutely gorgeous breaths. That's 1 minute. And slowly and gently, releasing the hands to the lap, and just pause for a moment. Notice that whoosh at the back of the ribs. And use your hands to help slowly and gently unfurl. It will feel good to extend the legs. It will feel good to just gently brush the hands over the thighs and calves. Oh, so let's create that same shape, simply switching sides. So this time it's the left leg on the bottom, right leg over. There we go. I'm getting it. So right leg on top this time. The arms go out, right arm under, and then hold on to opposite shoulders. Once again, you might want to round forward. If this is too much, allow the bottom leg to extend and just enjoy. Breath is long, slow, deep, and full. Three more long, full, deep, absolutely gorgeous breaths. 30 seconds. Slowly and gently release the hands to the lap and pause. Slowly and gently allow the legs to release out. Just gently rubbing over the tops of the legs. Good. So we're going to go into our puppy dog posture. And in puppy dog, we're going to do that flattening of the face, just like we did last week when we were actually in that belly reclining, basically flip-flopped Shavasana. So in this posture, the forehead will be pressing on the earth and the nose itself, which again is very good for the cartilage of the nose. So we're going to come onto our hands and knees, and so we line up the hips and the knees. The toes can be curled under, that turns on the belly just a little if that feels good for you, or they can be relaxed. And then we allow the arms to walk forward. And we allow the spine to melt, the shoulders opening to melt towards the earth. The forehead and the nose press into the earth. The forearms come down, and you just breathe right here. And slowly and gently sink the hips towards the heels. Glide the arms by your sides, forehead towards the earth, melting into an infant's posture. It's a beautiful counter. So just breathing into this for about a minute. And slowly just inhale up. Take all the time in the world to come to a comfortable seated position. You can have legs crossed. You can be in Virasana. There we go. Good. So we're going to open up the hands. So let's take this left hand, right hand, shoulders soft, elbows in, wrist is flexed, fingers are spread wide. Let's reach from below. Let's hold on to the index finger. Let's gently pull it back while the other fingers spread away. Good. And we notice how this goes up into the shoulder, into the neck. And then let's soften, let's pull that middle finger back. So in this time of creating more courage in our life, creating more reverence in our life, it's an opportunity to release anything that doesn't serve. So here we go. We'll use ring finger, gently spreading the other fingers away. Pull this finger back. So part of my concept as Chic Spirit Yoga is, of course, the inner and the outer reflect each other. So that we find our true self, our spirit, as we're on the mat with our yoga and our meditations, our sound. Let's release that ring finger. Let's pull the pinky finger back. Wrist is still flexed, fingers spreading away. So we can release very often some of the items in our life if we feel a little cluttered, a little congested. Let's soften. Let's reach up and around and hold on to thumb, spreading it away. So that's part of the other services that I offer. When we look into our closet and it's neat, tidy, looking beautiful, and we wear the clothes in our closet, right? Remember, this statistic is an old statistic and it's never changed. It's over 30 years old. The average person only wears 15% of what they own. So that's a lot of time and energy spent on things that we don't wear. And then just release the hands and just pause for a moment, noticing the difference one side to the other. So let's do the opposite sides. Shoulder stays soft, elbow in, the wrist is flexed, the fingers are down towards the earth, the fingers spread apart. And we're going to start with that index finger today and gently pull that back. So when our outer, our clothing, our beauty routines, our home reflect who we are, reflect that energy, favorite colors, a passion, then it's easier to keep this peace that we find in yoga. And then gently release that. Let's hold on to middle finger, spread the other fingers apart, gently pulling back. So that's really the connection. Who am I now? Who is this inner self that we're finding as we're practicing? And then what does she want to adorn herself with each day? So even if we're working from home, maybe you have fabulous pajamas. If you have fabulous pajamas, that's great. Work all day in your pajamas. But if not, I can help you find some fabulous pajamas. And then let's pull the ring finger gently back. Spread all the other fingers away. Wrist is flexed. So in this way, when we love everything we own, we maintain it very easily. So it lightens us up. And then we soften. We pull the pinky finger back. And it allows us each day to see our power, to open up our closet and say, this is who I am. to look around the rooms in our house and say, this is who I am. Slowly soften, and let's reach around and grab thumb, gently pulling it back, fingers spread wide, wrist is flexed. Ah. And slowly and gently, just release and pause for a moment and notice these incredible sensations. So let's open up these hips a little more with our gecko today. So again, finding courage, it's a big hip opener. We've got it, we can do it. So we'll come to our hands and knees. I'm actually going to turn the opposite way so my forward leg will be seen a little bit better. And so we'll start with our right foot. And let's bring that right foot forward outside of the hand and let's just soften down. Fingertips are on the earth. The foot is outside the hands. You can see my shoulders right up against, or my arm, back of the arm, right up against the knee. You can stay right here. If you choose, you can curl the back toes under and slide the back thigh back a bit. Just creating a little bit more opening if that feels good. Softening, melting, right here. Breathing, allowing. So as we're opening to fall, opening the hips, opening to courage, it's very interesting because the element in Chinese medicine for fall is metal. And metal is actually a very confusing element because it's actually symbolized by the stones and rocks and crystals of the earth. So it's not really symbolized by a piece of metal. So I always find that a little confusing, but a little interesting as well. And so in Yin, so really the rocks in the earth are the bones of the earth. And in Yin, we're softening the connective tissues in the body. And the bones are also considered a connective tissue. Slowly shift the hips back. You did it. Pull that leg forward. It will probably feel good to just take a moment to extend each leg long. It might feel good to just kind of roll the leg around in the hip socket. Go gently if you choose that. One or two of you might want a downward dog. And then just sit on your feet for a moment in Heroes in Virasana and just enjoy this for just a moment, the effects of Gecko, one side. And then we come back to hands and knees. It's the opposite leg now. So it's that left foot comes forward outside of the hand. And then if you choose, you can glide the right leg back, release the top of the foot onto the earth and sink those hips down. Good. So in the fall, all year round, Yin is such a great practice, but in the fall, particularly, it's a must. Because of that energy of the element of metal, the bones of the earth being the rocks and the crystals, and our bones within our body being the most yin of all the tissues. Good. Softening into the courage. Melting and enjoying. Slowly and gently, you did it. Shifting the hips back, pulling the leg back, maybe stretching the heel away, maybe gently rolling the leg in the socket, slowly and sweetly if you roll. Nice and slowly. Good. Excellent. And then let's make our way. We're going to do something really fun, a little different. We're going to open up the side body in a really beautiful way. So I'm going to be on my left side. We're going to do both sides, so no worries. Pick one. And then glide that bottom arm, the left arm, long on the earth. The other arm is bent in front of you, palm down for a little support. And then bend that arm and put it underneath your cheek and gently push the cheek up. So it's the flesh of the hand, that bump, is right under the cheekbone. And then allow the legs to extend long. And again, this right hand with palm down, you're on the edge of your body as much as possible. And that hand is supporting you. Beautiful. The body's lengthening. So by having the heel of the hand under the cheekbone, there is connective tissue in the face. So we're gently pressing that connective tissue, which will then give a slight lift to the face because gravity won't be pulling those tissues down. So this happens to be one of my favorite little postures, especially with the hand here. Again, in our Chic Spirit Yoga. You all have bright, happy, incredible spirits. And we're going to make sure that our outer reflects the inner. So if we can bring a vibrancy to our facial tissues, we're going to do that. Good. Now soften the knees in towards the chest. Just pause for a moment. Then release the hand long on the earth and let your head rest on the arm. And soften this right arm. Just melt it. Let's breathe here for a few moments. Good. Now all we're going to do is the other side. I am going to flip-flop so that I don't have to turn my back on you, but you feel free to just roll over and turn your back, or you can face me. And so here we go. So we're seated now on the right hip. The legs are stacked. We're going to glide that right arm long on the earth. We're going to bend the elbow. We're going to bring that palm of the hand, the heel of the hand, right under the cheekbone, slightly pushing it up. We're going to allow the legs to extend long. This left hand, palm down, is on the earth. It kind of prevents you from toppling over because we extend for a moment so that we're on the edge of our bodies. Good. So this top hand is a little bit for balance so that we don't roll backwards. Good. This is called reclining Buddha. So we're little reclining Buddhas today. And we're breathing, allowing. We're all doing great. Three more long, full, deep, absolutely gorgeous breaths right here. When you've completed that third breath, just release the arm onto the earth. Just glide the thighs in towards the chest. Just relax this top arm and just rest for a moment, feeling the effects of reclining Buddha. And then slowly and gently, taking all the time in the world, just coming to any comfortable seated position for a few moments. Our next posture that we're going to offering is fish. There's a couple different options here, so just bear with me while I show them to you so that you can make the choice that feels best for you today. So the first option is to lean back on the forearms and allow the soles of the feet to come together. The thighs release out, the feet drift a bit away. And then we slump into the shoulders so that the shoulder blades themselves, the shoulders rise up, and then we allow the head to release back. So that is one version. Another version is with the laying down, the arms are long, and laying on your hands, the palms are down, pushing into the forearms, and then releasing the head back so that the top of the head is on the earth. Now, if none of these appeal to you, you'll do a reclining goddess posture. All right? So you'll just go into that if that's your choice. And again, no bad yogis, no such thing as a bad yogi. Choose what's best for you. So you can lean back on your forearms. You can bring your soles of the feet together, feet out. Lift the chest a little as you slump into the shoulders and allow the head to release. Good. Other version was laying down, palms are down, putting your hands under your buttocks, pressing into forearms, and releasing the top of the head towards the earth. Still pushing into forearms a bit. Breathing, enjoying. This one is not a long hold, just a couple more breaths. You're all doing great. Now, when you're ready, just push into the forearms and hands. Bring the chin back to chest, then release the torso down. Release your arms out from under you and just rest for a few breaths in Shavasana. If you were in either of the versions with the goddess legs, just extend the legs long on the earth. And everybody coming for a few breaths into a Shavasana position. We won't stay here. We'll be here for now. Good. Everybody looks great. So our final posture before Shavasana is a sweet, gentle twist. So we'll bring the thighs in towards the chest, and first just give those thighs a sweet, gentle hug. This will feel amazing, knowing that you've created courage today. Everything else is really easeful. And so let's allow the legs to release the, let's start with the arm actually. Let's take that right arm. Let's bring the arm kind of up and over with a soft elbow in a way that feels good on the shoulder. And then let's release the legs towards the left. Good. Now, if you can see the screen, you can see that my knees do not touch. That's not the goal of the posture. And as a matter of fact, if I try to push my knees together and make that happen, it actually creates an imbalance in the hip. So some of us just have a pelvis that is shaped a little differently. It's about half of us. And so if your legs are together on their own very easily, great. If your legs are a little bit apart, great. And then the opposite hand melts onto the earth, palm up. And you can gaze chin towards your armpit. This is always where we say, oh, I'm so glad I chose the honeysuckle deodorant. Or whatever scent you like. And just pause here. Enjoy. Slowly and gently gather a little energy in your belly. Just gently pull the low belly in. Now when you lift the top leg with an inhale, just let that top leg come up and over. And as soon as the back of that hip lands, the other leg starts to come up on its own. And then allow the feet to come to the earth. That way you can unfurl without having to use muscle energy. And then just glide the extended arm down to the belly and just pause for a few breaths. Feet flat on the earth, knees bent, hands on belly. And then we're going to take that opposite arm, that left arm, it comes up and overhead, nice soft elbow, where the shoulder stays on the earth and the shoulder's very happy. The thighs come in towards the chest and they're going to release over to the right. Just nice and soft. We're not trying to get anywhere. And then that right arm releases onto the earth, palm up, and just enjoy. Head can glide towards the left armpit. Again, being very satisfied with the scent of our deodorant. And then just melt, enjoy. Now slowly and gently gathering energy in the belly. Allow that top leg to come up and over, and again the other will follow along. The feet will then rest on the earth. Glide the arms down, placing the hands on the belly. Just pause here for a few moments. Feel the whoosh in the back body. And then slowly and gently, you're going to make your way into your Shavasana. I'm going to be sitting up and holding space to get to melt. So all you're going to do is release the legs long onto the earth. Allow the arms to release by your sides, palms up. Allow the chin to slightly come in and back, releasing the back of the neck. Notice all the muscles of the body soften and slide right off the bones. Notice the bones themselves becoming heavy and melting you even deeper into Mama Earth. There is absolutely nothing left for you to do but to just let go. Slowly and gently, feel yourselves returning to your body by starting with very small moves, gently wiggling the fingers and toes, slowly rolling the head one way and then the other. And when you are ready, reaching arms overhead, stretching fingers to toes in an absolutely amazing stretch. And then bring those thighs in towards the chest. Just give those thighs a sweet, gentle hug. And rolling over onto the right side, pausing there. And slowly and gently pushing up to a comfortable seated position. Just pausing for a moment. With our mudra of courage, one final time, tip of index finger, middle finger, and ring finger to thumb, pinky finger spreads away. Feeling the courage we've created in our time together today. And then bringing the palms together at heart center. It is always my true honor and my absolute pleasure to share this practice with each and every one of you. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.